Good evening, Judy Allen here, San Antonio, Texas. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator, and today is the last segment that we'll be doing a treat holder with a matching card. We're just going to make the treat holder this evening, but with an order of $35 or more, you can get this free kit to go with 2 treat holders and 2 cards, coordinating cards, right? This is all about creating, sharing, and giving, right? So I'm going to show you how you do that today, and the fall is such fun weather to be able to do different things like that. And we really don't need it as an excuse to do it, right? We can do it any time, but it's definitely a good time, right? So with that, let's go down the hands and let's just do it. And let me show you what we got going, all right? Let's get down those hands. So this is what we are using. Now, believe it or not, it's sort of hard. This paper right here is actually with this Christmas paper. And if you flip this over, right? So let me just show you. Because it's like it's got more orange stuff. If I can get it open out here, I'll get the back side of these for you. These are candy canes, but we got some stripes in here, so definitely some Christmas stuff. But look, we got some fall colors there, and this is what I'm using here. And look at the color there, right? So it just depends where you're at and what you like. But for this evening, for me and this particular card that I'm making on, I'm using this right here. So it's always hard to believe that we go to what's looks like Christmas paper on one side, and we're going to use on the other here. So this is actually simple, and I'm just going to show you how we do it. And they're easy to make, and I know somebody's going to ask me, can I help them make some? Because they're already asking me about something else. So I'm sure we will do it. I went ahead and cut some leaves out. We're going to use some. We're going to use a twine here. I already made a double bow for us in advance. And I've got bling, and look at this. You can get pumpkin spice just about anything out there right now, including cereal. I took a picture at the grocery store. They have boxes of different brands of cereal there, pumpkin spice too. I already stamped some things in advance as well. But let me start off with what we got going here first, okay? So the first thing we got here is, this is going to be our treat holder. And it is 3 inches. And let me write that right there for you. It is 3 inches by 11 inches, scored at 1.5, 5 1/4. I'm sorry. Did I do that right? Yeah, 5 1/4, 6 1/4, and then we have a 7 1/4 right up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Okay. So the way this is going to work is, I did this the other way. Is when you go to fold this up, it's going to fold over just like this. Now I already punched the holes out because I didn't want it to punch holes live, but we are still going to punch holes because once we put the DSP over it, it's going to cover that, and we'll still have to punch the hole out, okay? So what we have is 3 inches by 11 with these score lines. Now, we've already gone and I've cut the paper for us, so we're using a 1 1/4 by 2 3/4, and again, this one's going to be 2 3/4 wide, the same as this, and 2 3/4 this way, right? 3.5 by 2 3/4, so it's like this. So for me, when it comes to stripes and plaids, I always like them to look like they're going to be continuous, just like this right here. So when I go to put this on, I'm going to just do it with some adhesive. Yes, we see snowman on the back. So it would be cute to make this a snowman one, right, too. I would just change my color scheme instead of it being pumpkin pie orange. I would sit up there and make sure I didn't lose my connectivity there. So we'll take slowing. All right, so I'm just going to put this right here. Yeah, so if you wanted to make it anything else, if I wanted to make it the snowman one, right, I would just change out the colors and change out the paper. That'd be easy to do. And then I'm just going to come to this side. It's going to be the flap, and we're going to put this down as well. Now, so I've made a bow, and you're wondering, you might be wondering what we're going to do. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put the bow on there, but I'm going to actually tie it down with a linen thread that looks like twine, but it's not. It's softer than twine, right? Okay, so you can see right here that I've covered up the holes, right? So then all I'm going to do, make sure this thing isn't full. Okay. Then all I'm going to do is come over it here with the hole punch, over the holes I've already done. And I'm just going to put a hole through. And if I miss it, nobody's really going to know, right? Because it's going to be covered with paper from their view. And let's see here. We'll do that again on this side. And then we'll do it on this side too. So I don't let it bother me one way if it's perfect or not, right? Because the people I'm going to give it to are just going to be grateful that I gave them something, right? Let's see here. So when you push it right there, it's going to go right there. So if it's not, if you need to line it up a little more, you can. Now, what we've done here is, like, you see where I've done the holes like this. So this will slide in here just like this. See how easy that is? You can even slide 2 in there if you wanted to. You could put a Twinkie in here, and they actually have some pumpkin spice Twinkies as well. So you'll just have to check. There's all kinds of stuff out there right now with pumpkin spice, but you have to do it before they sell out, right? Okay, so I'm actually going to at least go ahead and feed this through right now. That's how easy it is to make this treat holder. It takes more time to decorate it. Then I'm just going to go ahead and take a good, well, it's probably 16 inches, just so I can wrap around and do anything extra I want to do. So then all I'm going to do is I'm going to line up the holes right here, right? And I'm just going to feed it through. And I'll get it on both sides, right? Because I already know I'm going to tie it and put a bow on front. So I definitely want this down and secure. Now, when you do this, it's going to depend, right, on whether or not you want the person to untie this and to open it, or if you just want this to be for decorations alone. In this particular case, for me, I'm just going to let it be decorations alone to put a treat in there. And I'm just going to go ahead and make a knot here. And then I'm going to take it and tie it around my bow. Okay, now we can move it just a little bit if you want to or whatever, right? Okay, so I'm not going to trim it off yet because I'm going to have my bow that's going to go right here. It's a double bow. And you just figure out which way you want it, right? And I'm just going to take this double bow. And I can make another bow, right? I'm first going to at least sit there and get this here and get it tied on. Just to secure it down. Now, if you wanted to secure it down even more, right, you just use some glue dots. And then I'm just going to take this here and make a bow with it. So I got a bow within a bow, right? I got all this kind of little nice stuff just hanging around here. Now for me, I don't want this, I get concerned about this real thin one slipping. So you know what? I do it just like I would anything else, right? I'm just going to make a double knot here, and that way it's got a bigger knot right there, but I know it's not going to come untied either, right? So then we would just trim it. And then we're going to decorate the tag, all right? And I'm not worried about the tag because I'm going to put the tag on with dimensionals. So I'm just going to snip this off here. And I'm just going to make sure when I do this one here that at least the angle and everything looks the same. Right? Okay, so that's what it's going to look without a tag, right? So I've got my double bow here that I already made with this. This is pecan. This is pecan and vanilla cotton ribbon, right? So you can mess with it any way you want to. Those things will just curl around. It just sort of does its own thing, right? So I've already stamped this with pumpkin spice, but what I want to show you is when you go to stamp these, because this has all kind of little combinations that you can sit up there and put the words together to stamp, and you have all these different sentences and all. Well, it's just like this one here. You can butt the two stamps together so that when you stamp it, it comes out where it looks like one continuous line. So the easiest way to do is, if you have some grid paper like here, is line up your words on the grid line, and then just take your block and put it on top of it, and then pick it right up. And that's how I do it, and it just makes it so much easier. So I already stamped this, but I also, in addition to this is going to go right here, and we'll put it on with dimensionals. So we also have, I also did this here. I cut out some different leaves, because I know for sure I'm going to do the gold leaves here. They're actually crushed curry. We're going to add some other ones, but we're going to add a little color to them, all right? So even though they're small, we can still add some color to them. And then I've already stamped out some spice here, as well as some pumpkins that we can sit there and add to as well. So what we're going to do with this one here is I've got a small blending brush, because this is small. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of Cajun craze to it, not my hand, right? Okay, let me just set this right on top so you know that treat's going to go inside. And I'm just going to take it and I'm just going to brush the edges of it. All right, it's just going to give it a nice fall looking color, right? Because all the leaves, I mean, granted here, if the leaves turn right now, it's because it's 95 degrees still outside versus nice cool fall weather. But they still change, right? One way or the other. And so I'm just going to put a little Cajun craze here at the end. So you just see how it looks on this right here. Okay? Just it gives it a nice look to match with this here. And you're going to see how that's going to blend in. So I've got the paper here flat so you can see how nice it's going to blend in when we add this on here. So instead of adding bling, I planned on adding this. And I'm just going to add this with a glue dot because it's small and it's easy to do. You could also do it with a dot of glue. But I'm just going to use an actual glue dot. It'll work. It will work. So I'm going to put one down here. Then we're going to put some more elsewhere, right? But I just want to show you, number one, how we're going to do that. And I'm just going to put this right here. Just because I can, right? Okay, so we got at least one leaf down. We're gonna put this on the side, and then with this is actually like cinnamon sticks, right? That actually comes as a die, a stamp and a die. Now these leaves do not have a stamp; they actually have just where a die cuts the leaves, and you see where this part of the leaf can come out, and we can also just have the shell of that as well, right? So I'm gonna set that aside. So let's show you what we're gonna do right here. So with Cajun Craze, I'm going to take to color the cinnamon stick. So they'll look very much like this here. So this was Cajun Craze stamped on very vanilla, right? So what I'm going to do is take the same thing here, and I'm going to take this Cajun Craze ink. And this is just another way, right? If you don't have blender pens, all you got to do is use your ink pad, and I just dab the corner there. Some people squeeze ink on the inside right here. I don't. I just don't like to do that. I keep mine nice and neat. We all are different, right? But I get it all over my hands. So there you go. And we're just going to take the color off with this blender pen, and we're just going to come in here and color it, right? Look at there. So we'll get the cinnamon look. Now I won't get the light and dark like I would, right? A lighter shade like I would if I was using the Stampin' Blends. But not all colors have Stampin' Blend. But you see here, that's just a little bit lighter. And that's because I just used what was left on my blender pen to come on that side right there. I can color it darker, or I can leave it there, right? So it's all about choices. It's just whatever you want. So yes, don't let me forget before we leave that to show you. In fact, let me do it real quick before I forget, because it's easy for me to forget, right? Because I get sidetracked and ready to move on to something else. So this Sunday, Zoe and Nana will be doing the Autumn Abundance Paper Pumpkin Kit. Come kit along with us. If you have the kit, you can use the kit. If not, bring whatever kit you have, whatever you're working on. This is some of the pieces that we've been making cards with that came in the kit. Look how pretty these are. These actually inspired me, these colors did, for another card that I created for my club that we got tomorrow. Looky there. So yes, join us on Sunday, right? Okay, so we're going to do that right there. And I don't really need more than that, okay? I just want to at least show you, and if I wasn't happy with one, I'd do it again. But I'm happy with both of them. And you just want to make sure you get all the ink off of this, right? That's the main thing you want to do, so you get all the ink of it, so when you go to use it again, it's not there, and I'll set the block aside, and I'll clean that later and put the lid back on, right? And they'll stay moist a long time. Now, these here, I actually brought the Stampin' Blend pens. And we're just going to come in here. This is, so I always look for the light and the dark, right? Because that's what gives you your shading look. So this is the dark. So what I do with the dark is I just come in, I just follow the lines here. And then I'm going to come back in and color the inside with a light color. I'm just doing a couple of these. Now these, there's actually a die to cut these out. But since I wanted to show this to you, I didn't die cut them. I can fussy cut because it doesn't bother me to fussy cut. It's so tiny, I'm just using this tiny tip in. On the bigger things, I actually use the other. And so you can see it's just a little bit lighter, right? So you can get some shading in there. And you don't really have to color everything per se because, you know what? It's paper, right? Cardstock, and it absorbs color. Okay, there you go. So I did the third one without doing any of the shading of the darker color on you. You can see what that looks like, right? So then what we're going to do is we're just going to cut this out. And I'm going to use the darker one actually here. I could use the lighter one, but I was going to do the darker one because that's what I sort of had in mind. And I'm just going to cut this off. And we're just going to attach it with a pumpkin on the front of our tag here. Right? You can do whatever you want to on your tag. And it's real tiny, right? So you just have to sort of hold on to it. So we're just going to take it right here. Okay, now this I will have to glue on or something, all right? So let's at least get our tag on here with some dimensionals so that you can see how that's looking up and shaping up. And I'm looking for, I only get the small ones here handy. Okay. Just means I need to restock my area here, especially for Zoe and I. But everything comes in the paper pumpkin kit, so I don't have to worry about that when we do our live kitting on our kits live on Sunday, because we'll have it. All right. So we're just gonna put this in front of our little treat bag, or sort of treat holder, I guess you would say, because it's not really an enclosed bag, but we could make an enclosed bag, right? Wouldn't be that hard to do. And we're just gonna put it right here, right? So I got my leaf there, and I'm gonna cut a pumpkin out over here, and some spice. And we're just gonna put it on there, right? It's all the little details we add, right? So like adding bling or anything like that, right? It's all the little details that we add that makes all the difference in the world, how something looks, right? So like a birthday cake, right? So your birthday cake or your cake without any candles on it is a cake, right? But you put a candle on it, now it becomes a birthday cake or some kind of celebration, right? And then if you add sprinkles, right? Or if you want to add caramel. So I saw somebody showing something the other day where they actually dripped caramel on the outside of the cake. Oh my gosh. I didn't ask him if it was pumpkin spice caramel or not, but hey, you know what? It is out there. It is out there. Okay, so we're just going to take these right here. So I plan on putting the pumpkin right over here, right? And because it is a treat holder, right, we can let it hang over the sides. If you don't want to, then move it somewhere where it's not going to hang over the sides, right? So I planned on putting it right over here. And actually, I planned on using a small dimensional because that's perfect for something that's really small like this. But it would be just as easy to sit there and put the little pumpkins right on the bag itself. And that would be cute too, I think. Just add some pumpkins down at the bottom down here, just a cluster of them. Because everybody's starting to put up their harvest stuff. And then we're just going to tuck this little thing right here, my little cinnamon here that we made. And we're just going to glue it on. Let's see who we got here. Hello, Sharon. Take care of yourself, lady. Take care of yourself. Get well. Speedy recovery. Get well with that surgery. That's right. You'll be like a new woman. All right. So we're just gonna put this right here. Right. So you can put it right there, right? If you didn't want to, you could stick it up here as well. I mean, that looks just as nice too, but I'm going to put mine down here because that's where I wanted it. So I got my pumpkin with my pumpkin spice, and I got my leaf here, and I got more leaves we can add, right? So it's one of those things you can add as much or as little as you want. Then how I'm going to glue them down, right? Because it's all about either how you're going to get them down, right? So I'm actually going to glue mine down. Let's try some other colors, right? Because I did all these different colors. So if I did this one, I would just tuck it right back here, okay? And so I'm going to glue that one down too. So I got extra glue here. So it's like floral arranging, or if you do quilts or sewing, right? No matter what we do, we have some technique to sit there and hold things down, put them together, put more than one in there, right? And let's see if we can get us one over here as well too. I did a lot of leaves, so I want to make sure to get them all up, right? I don't want to lose all the leaves I did. Let's see what else we can do. I got a green one and a brown one, right? So there's no reason not to use them, right? So let's at least get a green one over here by this pumpkin. And I think that's about it. I don't think we need any more. There is bling. We show the coordinating bling. And we could add bling, right? Just a second. Let me get this leaf in here. So it's easy to tuck stuff, right? Just tuck it in. Tuck it in. Alright, then we got our bling. They'll give it a nice little sparkle. Wink of Stella gives nice sparkle too. We can put some Wink of Stella on that pumpkin there, as well as we can put some bling too. That's what I love about it. So you can put leaves anywhere, right? So if you want to put a cluster of leaves at the bottom, you can. So we have choices of color here. And that's what I like. I always like choices, right? So we have this color here. We have the green rather than it stand out, right? We also have the yellow, and we also have the orange. Choices, choices. I have the choice for me. I'd like either the yellow or the orange. I think I might just do the yellow just to be different, right? So I'm just going to put a couple of down here. And I'm going to put, right. And then I'm going to put one up here at the top. Right, so if you could open it, get one up there too. So we just added a little bling there just right, just to give a little, so we got our bow. Got our bows. Whoop, whoop. So just mess with it however you want to mess with it. As a neighbor once told me, you can never make a wrong bow because they always come out just right. So there you go. There is our treat holder. Our pumpkin spice treat holder at that, not just any old treat here. A pumpkin that is pumpkin spice flavor. How about that? And it fits just right there with a beautiful card that's going to go with it. And I got some special peaks that's going to go to. All right. And I'm just going to add Wink of Stella because I can. It always just gives everything a little sparkle. And I do it on my leaves too. Because that's how they would look in the morning time. With the dew. If there was any dew in the air or whatever, it would be just perfect right there. Okay, so there you go. That's how easy it is to make, right? So I hope you enjoyed it, right? It's all about creating, sharing, and giving, and see how we can touch someone else's life and make a difference, right? That's all it is. Because I tell you, I got Happy Mail today, a box of Happy Mail. I'm going to have to put it together because I dug it all out of the box before I went live because it came in the mail today. Thank you, Delcy. And I'll post it so you can see. So I got Happy Mail but a couple of days ago from Bridget. A very nice card, and I definitely needed the touch, right? Just the touch. Be in touch with somebody else and just making my day. Because I sort of had a bum day on Saturday. I was trying to deal with it. And then I got my Happy Meal, and that made all the difference in the world, right? Just wiped away that bum day. So go out there, create, share, and give. You never know how you're going to touch someone's life and make their day. Be blessed. I look forward to seeing you if you can join us on Sunday, or where we get together on Zoe and Nana Stamping. And Zoe will be here with me. And other than that, I will be here next Wednesday at noon for Keep It Simple or Step It Here Up here on Adventure Stamping, San Antonio, Texas. All right. Bye.